Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job? Then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
Young penny for baby say, if you are seeing her, obi ni ma obi che. Why na HL? So we pay IT, we de wonye, so we pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US in your office will Ghana so your numbers ni kuhono. So we should share IT classes, we share career coaching, we share support for business, cyber security. Free na your partner. Your back fear wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence.
Hi there, my name is Calibos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap Send. People, Tap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana. If you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap Send.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
All right, it was a former about SVTV Africa, so share live from the studios of SVTV Africa. Thank God it's Friday. Good Friday. Mimo biya kwaba. Bibri so chile holiday Easter man for chile sa enti it's your be out share live on SVTV Africa and Friday the own him say yeah na Fridays many lawyer wisdom account wise man solicitors here program wa ha starting 5:30 but yeah late kakra and then they see info ben na feel ben na UK in common e ba be di ene obet me join ni bi what questions be opesa obisa na maybe a phone line atum later now so a friend we bisa no bibi chire wa adwen so wo call how bi mu wo Ghana na so wo UK a obet me afre then na opesa ohun then na ekoso enti ma go straight subscribe to your channel you streaming live a YouTube channel so as you streaming live so Facebook SVTV Africa later me the TikTok e be count enti share link ni ma unu bi na unu bi join comment section obet me the questions so aba obetimi afre time no so do a mmiri no so a me de beto na bibia obebisa lawyer no obebisa no nti enko straight na me ne wise man solicitors lawyer wisdom akaho ending komo lawyer
DJ
okay there
I don't want I want so
meso me we pa na de wo studio bi ana
DJ
lawyer
simple way anonymous
lawyer and they also studio B
Mike no em say sound kakra watch
me that the way sound
I
day
em say okay now
sisi okay enti lawyer wa ba dia na wa ba then na ekoso UK dia bia mu issues then na ekoso then na say na then na ekoso we be asesa na bibia nsesa then na ekoso
DJ when you say there they bia bibi sitante etie for you mo bia chi na you mo bia so happy Easter jidi say and I mean kind of say mo bia afishapa because
happy Easter SVTV Africa fans nyina ne mo hwe mo support ye nyina happy Easter.
Happy Easter to all of you. Ejidi say from this time forth bibia besisu ye neye owo neye sambone accidents incidents na yetwam Gidi say nyame behwe nyina so na ye dia ko afi na wie ye pepepe. Where we can have our elders, our old people with us so that they can teach us more wisdom as we grow along with them. Nti me mo bia happy Easter. DJ, when you say krum ha de yes sisa bibia de bia bibi sisa. And that dear enye new per se, but a idea maka want some of that and that's so cost. And so to me, it's more of an update. To make up briefly, now you'll be a line to it's just for 1 hour. Now you'll be a line will be your questions here. Now we'll to maybe set then we can respond. So by 485 in Ghana time, 7475, maximum 710, and that is it's just a brief one, not just for your information. Right. So, DJ, when I said Makasa about this topic before, but Makano, it's something that keeps going on, and people keep making the same mistakes, and it comes back to bite. And we share caption banned for 10 years from the UK, banned for 10 years from the UK. Now, there were situations where Obi ewo Ghana, ne yiri ewo kurom ha, ana ne kunu ewo kurom ha. Ɔpɛ sɛ ɔba abɛka ne ho nanso wayɛ application a ɔyɛɛyɛ no one disclose all information anaa bi a documents bi a ɔuse no na bi a as far as ɔno yɛ aware no documents no yɛ genuine but afikisimfoɔ ɛfa n'akyi ɛkɔhwehwɛ no na aba abɛkyerɛ sɛ documents no ɛnyɛ ne nyinaa na ɛyɛ genuine ɛno nti yɛabane no for 10 years. There are some applications that we are now ban 10 years. There are other applications that ban does not affect you per se. Into section 320, paragraph 9, section 329, there are some exemptions to the 10-year, 5-year bans. A bit So, and then I just want to quickly go over why people are banned for 10 years from coming to the UK to join maybe your husband, to join your wife, etc., etc. Now, DJ, from my observation, mostly a member no, yeah, from my observation, majority of online applications, majority of them are member. So the question is, why the 10-year ban or why the 10-year ban? I'll look at it briefly. Will be your questions where they can ask and how to avoid this 10-year ban. We really will handle a very good set. Assuming some more and more now over set over can we hear but unfortunately because of mistake you've been banned for 10 years. It means if you're not careful for 10 years you might not see your child. Or, well, your wife can bring the child over to you to visit, but it's not like being with them or being in the same household with them for that 10 years. And I'll take time and go through why the ban, 10 years ban, why the 10-year ban. First of all, set up a application there. You have to identify the sort of application or the kind of application we are. Now, who identify application of area? As I said, who identify the laws that go or that govern that sort of application. After another, you also have to determine the documents with the application. So the focus now is not on the law. The focus is not on the type of application we are. Your focus and then is based on the documents the applications now and the problems that arise from using documents which are classified as false or fake documents. What is the problem? Now, what type of documents do we use for our applications? First of all, we have marriage application. Obviously, with the marriage certificate ever come. Application obviously, with the birth certificate ever come. Who application now person which say ni papa anani maame na anka ewo Ghana no we film one. Who the death certificate ever come. As I said, the bank statements at the account. So these are the documents we mostly use: birth certificate, death certificate, school certificates over as a student, bank statements are ever supporting application either as a visitor or in any other category. Pay slips, and so a very important piece of document application. Money transfer receipts, also very crucial evidence application. And no, and yet mandatory in all applications, but in certain applications, money transfer receipts are very, very important. Without a no, maybe you can't prove enough that maybe your child, your partner also is dependent on you. So in some applications, very important, so the money transfer receipts become. A bit of while, it's not so important, but there are some applications money transfer receipts are crucial. The other documents you use marriage certificates. So worry now so do we and then obviously as a Saudi marriage certificate at the account application who I just said when we of course there is a relationship ongoing. WhatsApp messages and also a very important documents who I check a very important piece of documents the applications home. Another very important piece of evidence the account applications who here land documents, if you have an indenture and all those other supporting documents. If you want to hear more evidence, medical application. Medical reports. If you person which is a nipan on tiapo, and then the option nipan on suno, abufano suno on tiapo, and until now person over treatment or come and now about it not on jawa. And also another piece of evidence we need to add to those applications. And so if you look at all this set of documents, you see that is very important. Now, apart from medical reports, we also have letters from the hospital and letters from the clinic. Medical reports are totally different from letters from the hospital or letter from the clinic to support an application for ABA UBA and your stepchild, etc., etc. And again, school reports and now school certificates. Nina evidence yedi eka applications home. Now, so what the evidence he be edika application home, it is imperative or it is implied that you want the case worker and the decision maker to take these documents into account in making the decision. So once I would document na application a chrese who can say decision maker no on share document on share mu say a genuine document na on share say a am pass document a media bano a legit na wa share so answer no their decision. And once I would want to me and sign what she because so I didn't know that it was not a genuine document, or I didn't know that it was a false document. Once you've added that piece of evidence to your application, you have consented or you have agreed that the content of that document is genuine and therefore it should be considered. Now, the Home Office na na genuine document and a false document and a fake document. You can't come back and say, oh, I didn't know that it wasn't a genuine document. You cannot come back and claim that you did not know that it was not a genuine document. And that is why we application here, there's a consent. And now maybe someone say, have you consented to the documents being checked, or etc., etc., the information you provided is genuine, etc., etc. Yes, so if that is the case and you take yes, it means you cannot and samra echi enkaso not meaning that is not an excuse. And nontina, so the documents become application one, you have to be sure that it is a genuine document. Now, genuinely, we wouldn't name some of the documents to their support application. Omwaba abeka say document a false document and a fake document. A DN and a document a fake document. Remember, say almost a fake, they will ban you for 10 years. 10 years, either as a visitor or as a student, as a tier worker, or in any other category, you'll be banned for 10 years, depending on the category in which you have made this application and maybe subsequent applications over here. Now, what makes a document a false document or a fake document? Number one, say okoji a document, let's say a marriage certificate from the registrar of marriages in Accra, Ho, Kumasi, Koforidua, Takrady, Second D, or any of these regional centers, Tamale, etc. Now, marriage certificates now, mistake be so. Some mistake so in terms of maybe the spelling of your name or the spelling of the place of residence, and anything else that is not correct on the marriage certificate. As a will sign for comma baby issue that marriage certificate for them to correct the error. And Sasa will not would pen efas sisa near omotrona enye papa no I wrong. Don't use a pen or Tipex or blade to face off anything. Once would the Tipex attach baby pen, sa single dot now would attach her a map with documents now by a false document. Everything else can be correct on the marriage certificate, but the fact set with the pen, be just one stroke, one line, kitty with a mad document number here, a false document. So do not alter any document which is altered or tampered with. Altered and tampered with. I mean, this will be altered and tampered with. And no, I'm a document number here, false document. In other words, usisa bibi was marriage certificate is super ama document no abeye false document. Now let me put it this way. Assuming say udin Mr. Tampi TAMPI ana TAMPE anambo TAMPA. Nti yemfa Tampa, Mr. Tampa. Udeng na Mr. Tampa. Ena omako spelling no TAMPI. TAMPA. Mr. Tampa. Nanso omaye no Mr. Tampi. TAMPI. So wosisa aina ewo enim ho no edane ne ye epe. You have altered the document into a false document. And to sa aina omudia to hono. Men fa wonsa enka. En dane no enye e. O dane ne ye e ni pe. What say document no? What say marriage certificate no? Nia esesa uye ni se. San fa koma omu issue marriage certificate no registrar no. Na omu ensisa. And now I'm going to issue a new marriage certificate altogether fresh. Now I'm going to spell it a year. From TAMPI, I'm going to TAMPA. From Tampi to Tampa. Now asam edina samko. Now so one no would you want sakape na asay documents no. Ababaye false document. So take note of that. People are getting themselves into trouble by making these corrections. Don't make the correction. And not a point number. No, the next one is say why our marriage certificate again. Place of residence. Yeah, now where is the man resident or where is the woman resident? Now, area Papa fee UK and a buyer. Now, so place of residence for Papa no Yamacho Ghana. Place of residence for my men so much Ghana. We are say, when them say won't Ghana. is supposed to be UK. Now, Udi Sisa and I will chat Sagana no any UK pe what say documents no. And now Udi blade I read now what done Ghana to UK what say documents no. Memfa Tipex enka, Memfa blade and red, Memfa pen and trim. Send the document back to baby issue here for them to issue you another document, another marriage certificate, and correct the error. Error now, set Accra no, should be changed to UK. And error now, to Ghana no, Mama says UK. That is what will be acceptable. So who would depend any ruler, any tremois, and no, it makes the document false document. Even though it was genuinely issued by the registrar of marriages, the fact that it has made the document a false document. So let's take note of that. Take it back to them and let them make the changes so that you can also use the document to support your application without it being refused and without you being banned, or your mother or your father, your son being banned for 10 years because a false document has been used. Another very common error, I said, Papa na fikrom ha osi okwa ko ware maame no. Okoye no, aye no, marriage certificate no so no. Papa na ja ware, wa ware da. Nanso ma twro so single, ana nail, ana bachelor. Once a wawari dano, you are not single. Once papa na wari dano, he is not single. And therefore, se udi single, some mistake now my marriage certificate is a single. Edikwa, the application will be refused. And until someone worried that, papa na worried that, it should be divorcee. My minister worried that, it should be divorcee. Se papa no aja worry divorcee. Same for Obanonsu. Do not cross it with your pen and change single to divorcee. Let the document go back to where it was originally issued and let them make the correction. Sometimes, near registrar no eyeni say, onwankasa ebetwem or the ruler betu so no etwem. Registrar no otwem saa na watro ne SSS otro ho. Enti obetumi asesa divorce single to divorcee na was signed against it. Now the stamp is sisu marriage certificate so. Na sometimes ombetro letter e dia kan wa kire say mistake no every one ho. We ne sanso a ye gitum na ye dia application bibia ebeko yi. One yen is na one kasa. There is no signature of the registrar beside it. There is no stamp of the registrar beside it. The marriage certificate will be deemed as a false document. You will be banned for 10 years. All application can be refused because the document is deemed as a false document. So that has to do with the marriage certificates. Another error on the marriage certificates one year careful. Now, a false document is your serial numbers. Every marriage certificate has a serial number, and it says serial number should end with 7. Now, any 1. Now, we that is our 1. No, any 7. What say documents? No. So, if you think that they've written the serial number in one section ending with 7, in another section they've written it into 1, the mistake is from the registrar. The same serial numbers 001457, 001451. One ends with 7 and one ends with 1. It's an error. Do not change the 1 into 7. Send it back to the registrar for them to make the correction. And yes, sir, you could be banned for using a false document 10 years. So all your application can be refused. I pay now appeal and waste a lot of money. So please take note of that. So that has to do with marriage certificate. Don't touch it. Don't alter it. Don't pick anything. Don't tamper with it. let the people or the institution or the department almost issue marriage certificate and let them make the correction. Number two, bank statements. Bank statements can also be deemed as a false document. Account no ho pepepe. Nanso entries na ewo so no enye genuine, enye correct, and also a false document. Now, a year nankrofo yi omu check it used to be, it still is, and the same right here, worse. Document be with application, they will check. They will check. Gone are the days, 20, 30, 40 years ago, when you could put in any kind of application with the supporting documents. So say, document be they will check it. They will go behind you. They go to the registrar of marriages. They go to birth and death certificate section to check sa birth certificate will be ediabano a genuine and was it issued by the birth and death registry or Accra or in Ghana. So would the document be not amoko check it, not a trace anywhere straight away, false document, straight away you'll be banned for 10 years. So don't assume, my friend is wait there, I'm check it. There you so say no machines and magnifying glasses. They have devices with the document they check it. Even your WhatsApp messages in Krano, with the car. Mijidi said there are keywords via almost share. And to would almost share the system, no more a yisa, almost say we work algorithm. Almost using algorithmic system in determining some of these applications. So almost share system more. I don't know how it is pronounced. Almost share now a use some words be straight away. You are in trouble. Another thing that you have to ensure that so would the document be required. Make sure it is obtained from the right source. Make sure the content of the document is genuine. Make sure it was issued by the right authority. Make sure it is a proper registrar or non documents. Ukofa document be about a registrar or 10 years ago. A friend I was signing documents about being signed by the same registrar who had left that place 2-3 years ago. That is a false document, particularly if it wasn't issued at the time that registrar it is a false document. Let me go back to bank statements. Bank statements, please make sure, sir, document we are using in terms of bank account, the entries are correct. The entries, the withdrawals and the entries are correct because almost see documents in your genuine, you found yourself in trouble and your application will be refused. You'll be banned for 10 years for using a false document, and that will put you in a very, very, very difficult position. So my advice is, please, it is better to use the right documents and be refused than to use a false document and be banned. If you are refused, you have the chance to go back, prepare, and come and lodge another application. If you are banned 10 years, or any application within that time, you'll be refused. I don't see. My advice is please take your time, build your account well. Don't be in a hurry. Don't get fake documents, fake inputs. If it is not there, it is not there. They will check it. Please, it will be checked. So please ensure that you get the correct documents. Now, another document, bank statement, can also be deemed as a document which is counterfeit. Counterfeit. And before I go to counterfeit, is a document which is being used by an imposter. Recently, my few decisions are people have been banned for 10 years because Nipana or the documents near application. And Nipana documents near in a bank statement near Nidiano. Or she said, will be edit the documents at the application, or in the bank statement the application. So, your uncle and a support to application, manning entry letter and can say, I'm afraid AM fancy, and me and my pennies to say on family bank statements and find application, and I may support this application. So, uncle and letter be and can one document be and can one. That is a document that is being used by an imposter. Yes, or your uncle Now, so onim ho hwee, so you will be deemed as an imposter. Usha, but me abanu for 10 years for using a document which you are not supposed to be used. You are not supposed to use, or which is not supposed to be used to support your application. So an imposter. Another one, a document which is fraudulently obtained. Fraudulently obtained. Now, fraudulently obtained, it says, wafa nipa n'akyi ɛna wakɔtua biribi ɛwɔ baabi ana waka kyerɛ obi sɛ ɔmfa ma because nipa no yɛ adwuma wɔ baabi nti obetumi anya access to that information ɛnti wɔtumi akɔyi saa document no ɛde ama wo wakɔyi saa bank statement ɛde ama wo you obtained it fraudulently ɛno nso ɔmo ho na ɔmo frɛ the owner of the account ɔmo bisa Mr. So and so wuna wodi bank statement here and as documents here they are supporting Uber application. I'll say, David, I don't know anything about it. Clearly, it means you obtained it fraudulently. That document is a false document. The content of the document is okay. Closing balance is okay. Payments into the account are okay. Withdrawals from the account are correct. Now, so because one fact a pasu amfa NG sa bank statement nenti, aye document na about a false document. And nothing na SSA ebe please obtain it from the right source. Now, counterfeit documents, don't try it. Don't try it because they will subject your document to scrutiny. Amodi be shishe bibia ombe hu se ampa document are genuine and I'm genuine. I remember an example of a situation we dealt with. Also, a very old birth certificate, no short one, no, I mean, say a pink was a color bit, sir. And now, I don't know, yeah, now almost maybe at 19, no more just space, 19, then almost the dash, Eddie, I share her. And it's almost issue. I want 19, no, I want your more type, not I want to 19. Let's say 89 and not 1991. 91 almost the answer and a etro. Now, the Bakubia, Nipano almost a type P a show. Clearly, they type something across the one. Only at 1990, yes, so it's 1990. Now we just space 1990. 199, almost just space no. They typed something across the second 9. Clearly, would do any kind of share, it won't see it. But maybe share, I scan the document and I save it on my computer. So when I click the plus, you can enlarge the document. When we enlarge it, it clearly shows that that was not the original letter now, or figure now. I'm going to type it and see where so. How much more self-efficacy for? More sophisticated system check this on. Please don't tamper with the documents. Don't do it. Otherwise, it will be deemed as a false document, and that can affect your application. Don't do that. Now, so clearly, don't alter the document. Don't produce counterfeit documents. Don't obtain the document fraudulently. Don't be an imposter using the document as if you were the person. Don't falsify the document. Don't put false information on the document. It will make the document a false document. Yes, a genuine document, but once I would want to once I would tipex I can't pay. Once I would blade I can't pay. Once I would throw it against it pay. What say it? Yeah, that document is a false document. Now, how do they check? How do they check these things? Now, Home Office, they have specialist centers and our specialist trained staff check this anime. And non we have application and now they don't usually give you the decision and then we application and now said it will take us 6 weeks and 8 weeks, 3 months or more to check the documents. The time now almost channel they are doing their homework, they are doing their background checks, they are calling the bank, they are calling the university, they are calling the person who issued the statement, they are calling the marriage registry, they are calling the Accra Metropolitan Authority, they are calling Kumasi Metropolitan, they are checking. So don't, please, don't use false documents because it will lead to 10-year ban. 10-year ban. It will lead to 10-year ban. So please don't do it. Now, what do they do? Now, another document they normally check is money transfer receipts. Western Union, they will check to see whether the document was issued by the providers. I'll give you an example. Some obedient documents be brought by some time ago said in application ne ba actually efi the Chrome. Now, sir, unfortunately, well, I would say fortunately because I saw it, or the different school receipts and a buyer to show set they ban Ocha Abufani school fees. And those documents were produced, the receipts was produced by the school. Okay, so the school receipts were produced by the school for this man to bring for the child's application. But I spread out the different receipts on my table. Make sure here now the serial numbers 0012, 0013, 0014, 0015, up to 9 and beyond. There is no way, receipts school are issued in different years. They will have the same, they will have the serial numbers following that way. It can happen. Does it mean that Ubano, there's only one receipt for your child? Does it mean that no other person paid the school fees after your child paid? Does it mean that all the serial numbers, it just doesn't add up? So make sure the papa document we require, you don't refuse your application, Ubano to affect the application to me. So why wouldn't say way in your papa? Sanko, call your homework we near Udia company down, school now near which you had friend bra. Not on TSA by chance yet because I know that it will be refused. Eventually, or TSA, and then we had to do the application using only the few documents now or one. And thankfully, it was successful. So, serial numbers, money transfer receipts, school certificates, school receipts for payment of fees. Serial numbers are very, very crucial. There is no way it will follow 0012, 0013, 0014 for receipts that have been issued in different years for your child. I don't say please pay attention to those things. Of course, these are what they do. They check it. Now, when it comes to document verification reports, so I'm going to check it. So the document you produce is a false document. There's something they do call document verification report. Document verification report. This is what they do. Let me use an example of a birth certificate, for instance. So I'm using birth certificate. I'm contacting the birth registry in Accra or in Ghana. Maybe I register with. So caseworker or managing, I want to check if this document was issued by yourselves. So they check with the issuer of the document. And say, oh, birth certificate, don't go to the Ministry of Agriculture. That is not where we issue birth certificates. Mango here will be our Ministry of Information. That is not where we issue birth certificates. Go to the ministry where birth certificates are issued, births and deaths. Please obtain it from the right source. So, which they will do, echo check here. Document, you have no problem. Your application should be successful. But I'm going to check it, that serial number, and so someone certificate, any records, straight away, it is a false document. I have dealt with this time and again. Back said that the birth certificate, they have no record of it. And they will check with the issuer, example, the registrar of births and deaths at the source. They will go to the source. Now, or the university, the bank, Western Union, and they have specialist teams. Now, there are some very important questions they ask. So, checks now, they ask some very important questions. One, where they are calling from or where they are requesting the information from. 2, the information they want. They use the serial numbers. 3, when was it issued? 4, which registrar was there at the time? Registrar and the signature document, who was the registrar at the time? And they can even ask for the register of registrars or the list of registrars for the years before and up to date. And it's almost sure when that's Nipana was signed documents, only at the time, then clearly it shows that the document was not obtained from the right source. So verifying officer must complete an applicable field. So there's a form they will send or there's some information they will request. They must record the person they contacted. Nipana omo friend no, and nipana omo email no. And Sawone, the deputy registrar, they will contact you. They will have to put the registrar's name or the deputy registrar's name. On so and so date, we contacted Mr. XYZ to inquire about this document, whether it was issued by the institution. So they record who they contacted, the person's telephone number, and possibly his email. The person's role, the position, or record questions that they asked, which questions and they'll record it. Record the DVR information received, information now registrar and a deputy registrar, so they'll record it. And then not engage in specialists beyond the information. They don't normally go to specialists beyond. Once they get the information from the registrar, that is sufficient for them. And then they state on the report the results, they check the date it was completed. And she said, when you're not a false document, they will use that to refuse your application. I have seen a few DVR, document verification reports. On my photocopy of the birth certificate, a document verification report and so, and almost stamped it to false. False was stamped on it from the registrar of marriages, registrar of births. Almost false assisu. And the Home Office provided that to us. Challenge application in court. Challenge decision in court. And they had the duty to disclose to us. In the only documents not how much they said they actually contacted a registrar at the births registry. And the report now actually said the documents were false. Clearly, there was not much we could do. Until maybe some said, a genuine document. Tell me again, is it a genuine document? Now, the answer is as good as your guess. So clearly, you could do court now, and your idea you're winning yet because the Home Office had the evidence. So these are some of the things that we need to check. Now, in this case, the children are not going to come. They are not going to come because of the records. Unfortunately, that was the best possible way I did found but later, so that's a different application. Their kids, they didn't have a hand in the production of the documents, so it shouldn't be used against them. But what happens is it affects their record in subsequent applications. There's another thing, another department that checked these documents. I'm only from the NDFU. Another one is from Document Examination Report, DER. That's Specialist in Document Examination Report Production. They check passports and travel documents. They check passports and travel documents. The DER reporters or the specialists, they check travel documents and passports. And guidance note in this one, almost say they should never disclose their findings to the applicant or to a third party. And to a hologram baby, and I want to shame another bisana, they would never disclose. So you would not know why they refused you, but you will be refused. Unless they go to court and the judge asks for that information, then that will be disclosed to the judge and maybe the lawyers, etc., etc. But they will not normally disclose to you the reason why the application was refused, if it has to do with the passports and other such documents. So generally, please avoid using false documents because it has a very harmful effect. 10 years you'll be banned from joining your wife. 10 years, you'll be banned from coming to school. 10 years, you'll be banned from coming to work in the UK. When it comes to COS, any students in one, I know they don't even do document verification report from a third party. They check from the Home Office's own records. Now, check his serial numbers, no so it's a fake one, take away 10 years. Fine. They don't even bother themselves to go to a third party because issue and it's so easy for them. That is for information. People are being banned. Use the right documents. Messi Subium. If you use the right document and you are refused and you have the right of appeal, you can appeal. If you don't have the right of appeal, Sankowachi, put things together and make another application. But if it is a false document, you'll be banned for 10 years. Now, so when pass documents a genuine document. It's a genuine, legit document. Now, Home Office for I can't say a fake document and a false document appeal. You have to appeal. Even if you don't have the right of appeal, you can go for judicial review or admin review if you have that. If you know that the document is genuine, it is from the legitimate source, it's from the right source, there is no falsification, no tampering, no altering, wouldn't say a genuine document, not say, almost say a false document, challenge them. And no, you can go all the way out because when said the document is a genuine document and not a false document is in air canal. So that would be my advice. Recently, we had a decision and they claimed the document was false. Now, what happened was this. Papano, say the bank account now already supporting the ban application now are genuine. The entries are genuine and everything was just right. Now, Home Office, if you see in our said there were some money transfers and some entries on the accounts which were not genuine. And because of the assurance now, Papani the because now the EU national Abufrane for more than 21 years in Tiadini, and we needed to prove dependency. I'm going to refuse here. The man assured us that the documents were genuine. So we appealed. When we appealed, the Home Office had to disclose to us their bundle. Now, Amodi Amubando ne Ebayano. Yahuin say, and Obifu for bank statement, or yet Nigeria need NDB bank statements. Our bank statement now with the Bayano. Our bank, Ebini Ghana, is a Nigerian bank. So we did not understand how they could have the man's name on that bank account. And we went to court. So we just made it clear to them that this was not the document the gentleman provided. This is his document. You have provided something else. We don't know where you got this from. And can you also explain to us? And they were stranded. And yet all the refusals, no, I'm refusing not correct. Sometimes they make mistakes. They are human. They make mistakes. Sometimes documents be ever free, they make mistakes. Because I went to court some time back, and the Home Office for Eddie Omubando Ebaye. Now my clients know or call for interview on any unique call interview, and our Home Office for say almost seminar and see the same and the refuse see application, and we appealed because this was a genuine marriage. Now Home Office for the Omubando Ebaye no. Omudi Alateni BD. I don't know why they always mix us with Nigerian documents. Omudi Obidie Efra sa documents now. And thankfully, I picked it up and I flagged it. And to catch the judge and say, the judge, as I said, can you look at page so and so of the respondent's bundle and to show and tell? And I showed him, the judge opened that page and I said, sir, this document is not a document emanating from my client, from the appellant. It is a mishap from the Home Office. And then this is the submission I made. Because the judge said, if the Home Office, sitting in the comfort of their offices, sitting in their air-conditioned offices, are able to make a mistake by adding somebody else's document to my client's document, it is not unthinkable, sir. My client under interview, under pressure, will not make a mistake in their answers. And the judge agreed with us, and we won that appeal. So if you are sure that the documents you used are genuine and your case is strong, please appeal to the very last end. May Jesus say justice will come true for you. But what you should avoid is using of fake and false documents. For that, don't, because it will lead you into a huge problem of being banned for 10 years. DJ, I think I'll leave it at that. There is a few other things. Now, if it's a visit visa, you'll be banned for 10 years under paragraph Appendix V. V.3.7, you'll be banned for 10 years with reference to V.3.9 and V.3.10. 10 years ban. If it is point-based under Part 9, paragraph 327B, you'll be banned for 10 years. If it is Appendix Armed Forces under Part 9, paragraph 327B, you'll be banned for 10 years. So please, 10-year ban is something that they will slap on you. 10 years. Oh my UK. So don't use the false documents. Obtain the documents from the right source, because I can guarantee, say, I'm going to call the issuer of the documents to check if the document is genuine or not. If it is not, you are in trouble. So DJ, I'll leave it at this. If there are any questions, I'm happy to respond to them. Thank you. Kwejo Japan. Hi, lawyer. Can I take the life in the UK test now, even if it's left with 5 or 10 years before my indefinite leave? Yes, you can. With the life in the UK, it does not expire. And it's a for me, it doesn't get any easier. So it will not expire. It's just the B1, which should normally be done within a year or so. It should be within 2 years of when you use it. Life in the UK, please go ahead now and do it and keep it for when your indefinite is due. George Abuampong, hi. Can me and my partner use Ghanaian marriage certificate for application whilst we are already in the UK to avoid the Home Office interview? Well, it's not a matter of avoiding the Home Office interview. It is whether or not the Ghanaian marriage certificate is a valid, genuine, and a legal document. Yes, you can use it. The Ghanaian customary marriage registration certificate is a valid document. Set, it is issued by the right authorities. First of all, Ebusiafo Nancy, the necessary exchanges, the dowry, and everything has been paid peacefully, nicely. Pictures. Your representatives elsewhere, statutory declaration, your father or your mother or your family reps, swear, KMA, issue the marriage certificate, the customary marriage certificate, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Judicial Service, registrants to the letter account. It is a genuine and it's a legitimate document. You can use that for your application in the UK, not because you want to avoid interview, but because it is a genuine document you can use. And here also Ghana, the families can do this on your behalf. So that is what it is. Henry Dankwa Danso, hello. How much is the renewal stay price to pay for marriage certificate? For marriage certificate, how much is the renewal stay price? Well, I think you are asking how much is the Home Office fee for renewal or application. Renewal to stay. That's for marriage. Perfect. I think you reworded your question. Yes, for marriage, the Home Office fee is £1,321. It was £1,258. It's gone up to £1,321. And the IHS, as up today, I think is £2,587.50. So Udinimi and Niboma at £3,908 for the IHS and the application fee, £3,908. So you just tell yourself £4,000 for a renewal based on your spouse, your marriage. OB Tonsorials, hi. Do they consider the income of the beneficiary who is outside the UK if the spouse in the UK's income is below the required amount. Thank you. Now, they would consider the income of the spouse outside. Now, assuming that the British citizen or the person who has indefinite leave is working in Ghana and he or she is coming with you, then they will consider how much he is earning in Ghana and the job that he's got in the UK, the new job he's got in the UK, if it is going to pay them above the required level, that is when they consider the person's income. But if the woman or the man is in the UK and the husband is in Ghana or outside the UK, they will consider the income of the person, the sponsor in the UK, not the income of the person who is coming from outside the UK. They consider the income of the person inside the UK, not the applicant from outside the UK. Thank you. DJ, there's some, okay. Baby Cobra. Okay. Is there a website in the UK where I can file for divorce, though got married at AMA, and where can I apply for the visa to Europe with BP? Thank you. Well, yes, if you want to apply for divorce, yes, these days you do it online. So you can go to Google and enter apply for divorce online. It will give you the link as to what to follow. You may have to register, put your details, your email address, etc., etc. And then after that, you have to verify that the email address is okay in your email, and then go back to log in. You follow the steps. It is possible. It's a site. It's not a website, but it's a link where you can go to that site and put in your application for a divorce. But you have to be able to scan the documents, etc., etc., fill all the forms. So that is that. And it says, where can I apply for a visa to Europe? Now, I think there is an agency, is it UKVI or UCA, something, that apply for people to travel to outside the UK. So you can, of course, contact them. I am not too sure about the name, but I can get that for you on Tuesday when the office opens. Or take this number if you're listening to me, 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. 0208 0165 384. If you contact them, the office, they will give you the number of the who to contact, and I'm sure they will be able to help you apply for visa to any European country. Please do that and you'll be assisted. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, all right. So, lawyer, I'm picking questions now. Over some friend.
Yeah, Bakuminubi.
Lawyer said Bakuminubi. Lucky one say bet me afraid to see na money lawyer kasa. Over so be the question be more abia muntimin type and muntimi from questions in our comment section no. Waiting afraid WhatsApp number that was playing so no. Na me catch am say mun saving number we. So what I share there me sure say was a number we, but so you knew there. I think so this will be your WhatsApp number we. With me saving afraid lawyer quick one no be your person will be sana na because lawyer be sha say no ka say 1 hour in terms say 1 hour na e do. Nti wo be your person will be sa lawyer for a quick one friend in terms see na Nima on in kasa. O share live on SVTV Africa. Obetimi type so comment section or question be your person will be sana. Me who say every more they respond about questions somebody by no more the lawyer so Matthias here baby Cobra. Say thank you so much lawyer. Okay. It is some will be a person beside Yancho, and yes, I may be Vienna. If you almost train last hour. Where we are now signing out, and I feel on no afraid. Program no so awful. No frame, but so bashoons. I did see you. All live, it is all be a person will be a lawyer. You can come on ED in some kind, you know, no be a person will be a quick orbit, maybe Sana signing out. But lawyer. Once I try and call Bismarano, also So we be how be say we catch to a but me
DJ Obi just send me message be or say on him pass on only documents now are using a genuine document, but it was still refused. Omu claims that they contacted the bank, and the bank claims that there is no account there. Meanwhile, no dear when him say a genuine document, what should he do? Well, Anuna Makan said, so when him pass the documents I will use it. When him say documents now are using a genuine document, then don't let them bully you into submission. They should not bully you into submission. As long as you know that the document you use is a genuine document, please appeal. Even if you don't have the right of appeal, make your submission. Either through pre-action protocol and judicial review, if you know that the documents you provided are genuine documents. And sometimes they also make mistakes. Sometimes meanwhile, some for evidence they have nothing. Sometimes said we contacted the department of so and so. Almost see the document is not genuine. Meanwhile, they haven't added anything, nothing shows that they've done that. If you are sure that your documents are legit, please appeal.
But lawyer so Crawford so almost tie so the na say ntwa you na so almost mu twa entro no omo gi esika ba anya de omo ye bibia
DJ say entire and also but every now and then almost send about could be a film mama say omo checks be meanwhile say you pushing your court pe now say as a matter of fact now na bibisa anyhow, and that is why if you know, and I can say, so yeah, you know the truth. At least you know the truth. Everybody else may be conjecturing and guessing, but you know the truth. So when say a genuine document, push it all the way. But once when say a genuine, and yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about it, and that is why.
Na omo so almost suspect say na omo we na omo bande so ntimi appeal ni ade ba who nim say no credit so take it on.
Yes, so taking it on. Look, recently my year application for somebody. Now, or no, oba my application man. Same thing, visit visa year, almost see or use fake documents, which was false. In other words, the claim they made was false. And on my side, another application. And this lady was so determined. She went all the way to wherever they claimed they went to and got a letter from that place to prove that there was no such checks. So we asked them, which name or who did you speak to? The person's telephone number, the person's email. When did you call? And what was the information? They couldn't provide anything. So we made another application and put these documents, this information in our subsequent submission. And it was successful because they didn't do any such checks. So,
and a lawyer, we another application as well say to ask for.
Of course, application is so check. I only right of appeal. Only right of appeal.
It is someone himself, man. Yes, I know my do seek the first one there. We application for now. Say, almost some mistake. Or mess on how many seek a man.
DJ, Uber so bad now. Well, in this case, sometimes question now is a very legitimate question. You wait to me, I can say yes. On one push, you wait to me, I can say yes, because the mistake was from them. You wait to me, I can say, look, clearly the error was from you. You didn't do your checks as you claim you did, and therefore my money should not have been forfeited. We could push it, but sometimes some of the clients say, look, once I'm done with this, I know they let it go. I don't want to go litigating with them. But yes, it's something that can be pushed and really pursued.
Okay, I'm saying so. Obi emotion, obi on best of kasa. Na lawyer me pick you na and signing out.
Hello, Mr. Bonsu. Can I travel as a dependent if my main applicant has switched his visa without adding me? I would not advise you to travel. I would not advise you to travel because of Niamehu NT. DJ Mamin has something very, very sad for you to hear. Now, recently, there was this gentleman now over UK as a dependent of a skilled worker, and he was application to travel to Canada, and thankfully on your visa now. Now the unfortunate thing is that over do Canada hano of plane no I could do Canada, but Oma manangure because almost say Oma checks Oma who said the sponsor no the main applicants now on the employer now or the buyer no on the employer na engagement, and on that basis enka na sit na ezo mucho and your man ang Canada what samba ba do Gatwick and so I won't be sending questions. I won't say Davy. The Canadian visa had been cancelled and a UK phone. So because the main applicants not any the employer and engagement, it means the condition under which our buying has been breached and the visa also UK and so almost a revoke here. Sapape is now got his Canadian visa refused and cancelled. He's now got his UK skilled worker dependent visa also cancelled. Stranded in between. No child in the UK, no spouse. Well, the spouse no now in intermatching. Once now have for 20 years and 20 application. So in such a case, why are stranded? And to my advice is that set your main applicant as switch it to a different employer, not one power and can one. My advice is don't travel until say once you switch it, I could that the same sponsor. Men too quiet, who can there easy, but some of back now can be a lot of problems for you.
Lawyer, me will be online, so but lawyer too.
You but DJ. And I must make my power mom. So yesterday, what he tabe bia Israel, you bet it will be a Japan baby. I want to do. When the lawyer wisdom, and I was need my power mom. I mean, some more question is not that they were born to finance which we abort a normal. But what I remember, even withdrawal agreement, and we won't be no only made no Ghanaian customer marriage before 2020. I'm qualified and 7-year application that EU family. Permitted, and we just say, then making a document, then making for application, and our bands document, then making for application. But what our from Miami settled status to that.
Very good.
Was that what our many first question. But the second question is, and it's many about 20 years was young. Now by that time, onya na 18 years, but 2 years I can onya document will be prove. Why application up the social man say onya 20 years because also I miss 2 years now. Today be no wait me approve, but so they call they know the back home approve am I also wait me then. I will a moment there was me adult 20 years was maybe. That's the second question. Third question is also the cousin back also only lady do indefinitely wa ha a date me parties but mo worry lady no e ba away British dem ma say me cousin aba no man am before oboso ogina after no stepchild so obuano for school ne GP ne man na ko gina should be application and outside the rules you need to name but problem they say na first no also no ban a date and acting for 2 years because mo worry that room that's so far na say the common of the society, and the question is, I was
Yo, me about to tell you why you want why.
You that needs you.
Okay.
Without say, my last one is first. Yes. Yes, then we are not any Obano are not together in a relationship for 2 years. So, and worry but more evidence I just went now for 2 years. Who can say GEN 1.2. That's when it comes to definition of who is a partner. Even though they've removed that 2 years requirement, the Home Office usually requires 2 years. And yes, so our evidence for 2 years on better make application. Evidence, gas, water, electricity, bank statement, letter from the landlord, etc., etc. I bet me actually say how much now for 2 years. I bet me and so together with Nabano Mano or the Nico School or Phonical School, letter from the school and etc. etc. The relationship is subsisting and is involved in the child's life or what me application. But my advice is evidence covering 2-year period now. Very important. So yes, Emrano Edasuho. The second question, 20 years. Will say Nenuano will miss it 2 years until when you evidence for 18 years from when I OG in NI. It shows what now for 20 years, 18 years, but 2 years. Normally the first 3, first 1 year, and a creative problem because people don't normally have any evidence or documents to prove. So the question then is, oh, sorry, so sorry more. I sorry wait me my letter to confirm that I sign pay were a member of this church from this time to this time. So our church pictures, if you are ceremony, any group ceremonies, visual, what you try to pictures, over to me the at the account. My elderly old lady be now or no, or yeah, Assemblies of God member. And she was very involved in the church, in the children's department. And she said every year it's a children's week and a children's day or what. You see her in the pictures. No more a banner say, and the dates now how much our banner is not our pictures more. 2002, Children's Day, 2003, Children's Day, different occasions. And the design pictures to support her. She was in the UK at that time. And Mufrana not on what the children's service during that time, 2002, those kids, some of them are now, remember, is 20 years ago or 20 something years ago. So some of those kids wrote letters to support my application. So yes, she was our Sunday school teacher, etc., etc. And we use all of that to support the application. And so I appeal, make us say, Onyanya appeal, make us say Onya appeal. Then you can get on these letters to support the application. And the pastor or any other church members can come to court and be witnesses in this case. I am sure a judge who is open-minded, a judge who is understanding of how the situation is, would grant that appeal. Very important. Appeal, and you have people to come to support you. Of course, sometimes these Ghanaian associations, etc., etc. And also, we are a member of any of these groups. They'll be more than happy to come and support you in the court. Say, you've been part with them. If you grab the dues card, dues card, dues, and their register of attendance, the register and back court. Normally, photocopy the account. Say, look, you've been a member of this group since 19 Kojoho, and upon every attendance every month, you are in attendance. Near a copy, near a bundle. So yes, I'm sure she is in one of these groups or in a church, and in that case, Obetome Eddie, I appeal, and you should be successful. And now, would you be for ding the case of Mahmoud? The case of Mahmoud, actually said, you can prove that, or you can add that as evidence. And yet criminal matter in court, and then we but the court case now and the amount of. So yes, I think she's got a good case. The first question was, who are you before 2020? And now you have settled status. Yes, as long as you marry before 2020, that is fine. The application will still be based on the EU law, not under the UK rules. And so what you do is marriage certificate, of course, communication, WhatsApp messages, text messages, money transfer, pictures, etc., etc. And of course, if you've been to visit, you can add all of that to it, pictures, etc., etc. And evidence, I just said, you are an EU national, copy of your passport, copy of your wife's passport, copy of your pre-settled or settled status in this case, who decide documents in your account. Of course, we are application. I believe Sep Obano should be able to join you in the UK. So that is my response to your questions. Hi, yeah, Mensa, hi. Can a work visa issued a year which has expired because applicant could not travel due to certain reasons, financial, be reissued? Or can applicants still travel? Visa is still active. Well, it depends on the circumstances. Also, every visa and every application is considered on its own merit. Every application. Now, if it was issued because you were supposed to start work in, let's say, December 2024, and went to Myanmar, the question is, do you still have that vacancy waiting for you? Do you still have that job still waiting for you? Would the employers be happy to confirm that, yes, the place has been held for you for all this while? The danger is Uber. If you take the chance, Uber do have that's the home office check, and our border agency for checks. Now, almost the position is not there. Then paragraph 320, that is part 9. Paragraph 320, but I said the circumstances have changed, or the reason for which the visa was issued, the reason has changed, and they may refuse your entry. So I would want you to first of all check with the employer. Do they still have the vacancy for you? Are they willing to give undertaking or give you a letter to confirm that the vacancy is still there? And so, if they can confirm these things for you in a letter form or an email, then at least that gives you some chance. But if none of those will be available, then I would not advise you to risk it. But of course, the decision lies with you. We can only advise, the decision lies with you. Alhaji Givers, good evening. Can overstayed immigrant switch? No. Yes. Yes and no. It depends on the category. If you have overstayed your visa and you want to switch to any other category, let's say student, no, you cannot. If you want to switch to work, highly skilled worker, migrant, as a care worker, no, you cannot. If you want to switch to, let's say, charity worker, no, you cannot. But if you want to switch to spouse, if the woman or the man is with child, yes. And the family route, yes, you can. Or if you have your own child, the child is a British citizen, yes, family route, you can. So there's a limited window of applications where you can move to that, but there are a wider range where you cannot. So yes, this is a good situation where you can call, speak to us, and see how best we can direct you. Duncan Riafiku, say hi. I have a daughter who has 4 children. As an EU citizen, granted to live and work in the UK. Is it possible to bring them to UK through my EU leave to remain status? Of course. It is very, very, let me say again, very easy for your grandchildren to join you. In fact, it is easier for your grandchildren to join you than for your daughter to join you. I mean, if I say it's easy, I mean, by applying the law, it is easier for your grandkids to join you than for their mother to join you. Why? The children under 21 years, I believe, they are your grandchildren. You are an EU national, and therefore the rule says as long as they are under 21 years, and you have to do a DNA with your daughter and your daughter with the children, which shows that it's a triangle. You with your daughter with the children, and the children with you will show that they are your grandkids. I can assure you that if all other conditions are satisfied, your grandchildren should be with you. 3 months, maximum 6 months, they should be with you in the UK. If, conditional, if all other conditions are satisfied. Thank you. George Wampong again. Is it possible for me to make an application with life in the UK C1 to put me on a 5-year route as an overstayer? You need to go on the 10-year route first before you can move to the 5-year route. You cannot move straight from the 10-year from overstaying to 5-year route. It doesn't work that way. You have to go first of all to the 10-year route. As long as you are here legally, you don't have to wait for the 5 years to finish. You can then, if you meet all the other requirements, relationship, immigration, financial, and of course, English language requirement, as well as with accommodation requirements, then you can apply to move to the 5 years. But you can go straight to 5 years if you have overstayed in the UK. Thank you, DJ. DJ. Thank you. Can a student dependent bring her son to the UK? It depends. It depends. If you are here as a dependent of a research student, master's research student, yes, you can. If you are here as a dependent of a taught student, you cannot. If you are here as a dependent of a person who is on scholarship, yes, you can. If you are here as a PhD student, yes, you can. So yes, there are certain cases where you can, and there are others where you can. So I need to know more as to which route you are on or what your main student is on.
Okay, all right. Lawyer Wisdom Akao, the number the good screen so no. Over to me, SAV, no our friend no. Office number or WhatsApp, WhatsApp number, the telephone numbers, no office one, or non personal. Lawyer Wisdom Akao me that say from Studio B, send we need that Jema, we churches, and we know more soon. Ebeti, Obo ha, BB say no TB, let tobacco be a question minimum, and I say until you, but more soon. Ebeti, lawyer me that say, office location, next week, Rebecca.
That's it. Why Smart Solicitors? Why Smart Solicitors? Number 8 to 9, the Print House, 18 to 22, Ashwin Street. Why Smart Solicitors? 8 to 9, the Print House, 18 to 22, Ashwin Street. But I normally say 18 to 22, Ashwin Street. Building over once, and you get the 8 to 9. So, Why Smart Solicitors? 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 the Print House. London, your Dalston Junction, postcode near E8 3DL, E8 3 Delta Lima, Echo 8 3 Delta Lima. Yang telephone numbers 0208 0165 384, 0208 0165 384, and mobile number is 079 31 411 042, 079 31 411 042. DJ would have 2 screens and office email office admin@wisemansolicitors.com. DJ what omiti the art no and email no. Why in office admin Wiseman Solicitors? There's art. There's supposed to be an art. It's missing there, so please, if you can change it for us. What office admin @wisemansolicitors.com. The art is missing, so please take note and correct it for us. Thank you all. I wish you a happy Easter. Happy Easter. Nyame. And show you na yesu ewu nini sorry enough. We shall all bring protection, good health, wealth, and peace of mind to all of us. I appreciate you all. I love you. May the Lord be with us. DJ, Maune Jomo Unulo, Maune Yira, Maune Yira,
Lawyer, Mochumi Onu.
Upopeyo, Maune Jomo.
Lawyer Wisdom Akao me that say, Wiseman Solicitors every Fridays be a meneno waha. I hope say, much information in discussion have here, and then me some share. Happy Easter and come out be SVTV Africa fans, both old ones and new ones in Yano. Madam I say your videos were channel also follow your YouTube there be who branch about in come 23 years or send about na after 23 years they won't say anyba hey cow montie videos no de obia ne experience obia ne story obo so ba me show no so bia me numbers they go YouTube I ho two numbers were +2332447909002 and I say +23324067789 two numbers per chat two numbers in your WhatsApp so I also be free just your voice note and I say WhatsApp message me respond Madam production team as subscribe to your channel for more share videos share videos in here videos no do so pa bia na fe no hu ba ko make sure so be tap on the subscribe like share adoma na wo no mi aso se na be benya notification na ya na wa share am obi esuan de wo channel no so ti me na manfo di nkomo Ghana worldwide maybe me obi adi nkomo your business link so o be hwe na nse me na mo ye business wo Ghana edi nkomo yes so bo say ebi mo bo mo modern yi pa enti e chero bibi say sorry and complaining start something they be asana make acho en kakra determination ebefa madam I say your link up two
Challenge break, make we chop small. Delight cocoa.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa. Ah, a day.